What if I told you that 5 men I grew up with are all gone, but I'm still here at 91, and the difference wasn't genetics or luck? In the next 15 minutes, you'll discover the 5 deadly mistakes that killed my childhood friends decades before their time, and the simple daily choices that kept me alive, healthy, and independent well into my 90s. The third mistake is something most doctors never emphasize enough, yet research from Johns Hopkins shows it silently accelerates biological aging by up to 15 years and dramatically increases your risk of heart disease and dementia. James, Carl, Donald, Vincent and I grew up together in the same Philadelphia neighborhood, played baseball every summer, and made a pact we'd all grow old together. By age 75, James was gone. Carl followed at 78. Donald didn't make it past 82, and Vincent left us at 85. I'm the last one standing at 91, and the difference wasn't our genes because we all came from similar families. Mistake 1. I stopped moving. When retirement started, the single biggest killer I personally watched claim my friends one by one was the dangerous belief that retirement meant permanent rest. All 4 of them had this same mentality, that after decades of hard work, they finally earned the right to sit down and never get up again. James bought himself an expensive recliner the day after his retirement party and proudly told everyone he was done with physical effort. Within 2 years, his doctor diagnosed severe cardiovascular disease, and 3 years after retirement, he suffered a fatal heart attack while watching television in that same recliner. Research from Harvard Medical School confirms exactly what I witnessed with my own eyes, showing that adopting a sedentary lifestyle after age 60 increases your mortality risk by 71% within just 10 years. Your body doesn't understand the concept of retirement, and your muscles, heart, and circulatory system don't care that you worked hard for 40 years. When you stop moving regularly, your leg muscles begin wasting away at an alarming rate. Your heart muscle weakens dramatically, your blood vessels lose their flexibility and strength, and your risk of developing fatal blood clots skyrockets dangerously. The cardiovascular system needs consistent movement to pump blood efficiently throughout your body, deliver oxygen to your brain and vital organs, and prevent dangerous plaque buildup in your arteries. Every single day, you spend sitting for more than 8 hours. You're actively weakening your heart, reducing your lung capacity, and allowing your blood to thicken in ways that lead directly to strokes and heart attacks. I made a completely different choice the day I retired at 65, and that choice has kept me alive for 26 additional years. Every single morning at 6 o'clock, I put on my walking shoes and walk around my neighborhood for exactly 30 minutes, covering roughly 1.5 miles at a comfortable pace. I don't run, I don't go to expensive gyms, I don't use complicated equipment, and I certainly don't push myself to exhaustion like some young athlete. I simply walk consistently, breathing fresh air, moving my legs, and keeping my heart pumping steadily. My neighbor Gerald is 86 years old and still walks 3 miles every morning before breakfast, rain or shine, and his doctor recently told him his cardiovascular health rivals most people in their 60s. You don't need to start training for marathons or join expensive fitness programs to save your life starting today. Walk for just 20 minutes every single morning before breakfast. Moving at whatever pace feels comfortable for your current fitness level, and gradually increase your distance as your strength improves over the coming weeks. If walking outside feels unsafe or weather prevents it, walk around your home, pace back and forth in your hallway, or walk in place while watching your morning news program. The specific activity matters far less than the consistency and the simple fact that you're moving your body every single day without exception. Don't wait another day to start because your heart and muscles are weakening right now with every hour you spend sedentary. Mistake 2. They isolated themselves after losing their spouses. The second deadly mistake that accelerated my friends' deaths was withdrawing completely from social connections after experiencing major life losses. Carl's wife, Barbara, passed away after 52 years of marriage, and instead of reaching out to family and friends for support, he retreated into total isolation and loneliness. He stopped attending church services, avoided family gatherings and holiday celebrations, rarely answered his phone, and spent entire weeks without speaking to another human being. Within 18 months of Barbara's death, Carl developed severe depression. His physical health deteriorated rapidly, and he died from what his doctor called complications from multiple conditions, but what I recognized as simply giving up on life. The Mayo Clinic has published extensive research proving that social isolation increases mortality risk in seniors by 50%, which is medically equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes every single day. Loneliness isn't just an emotional problem that makes you feel sad. It's a genuine physical health crisis that fundamentally changes your blood chemistry, weakens your immune system, raises your blood pressure, increases dangerous inflammation throughout your body, and makes you far more vulnerable to heart disease, stroke, and infections. When you isolate yourself from regular human contact and meaningful social connections, your body interprets this isolation as a survival threat and floods your system with stress hormones like cortisol that literally damage your organs over time. After my wife Martha passed away 12 years ago, I experienced the same crushing grief and the same powerful temptation to withdraw from the world completely. For about 2 weeks, I barely left my house, ignored phone calls from concerned friends, and seriously considered canceling all my regular activities and commitments. Then, my daughter Sandra sat me down and said something that changed everything. She told me that isolating myself wouldn't honor Martha's memory, and that Martha would want me to keep living fully, staying connected, and sharing my remaining years with the people who cared about me. The very next week, I forced myself to join a weekly card game at the local senior center, even though I didn't feel like socializing or making the effort. Join one community activity this week, whether it's a senior center program, a church group, a library book club, a volunteer opportunity at a local charity, or simply having coffee with a neighbor every Tuesday morning. Pick up the phone right now and call someone you haven't spoken to in months, reconnect with an old friend, reach out to a family member, or accept that invitation you've been avoiding. The specific activity matters less than the regular social contact and the simple act of being around other people consistently. If you've lost your spouse or close friends recently, I know how painful it feels to engage with the world, but isolating yourself will kill you just as surely as any disease. Don't wait another day to reconnect, because loneliness is damaging your heart and immune system right now. Mistake 3. They ignored their sleep problems for decades. This is the silent killer that doctors rarely emphasize strongly enough, and it's the mistake that probably shortened my friends' lives more than they ever realized. Donald bragged constantly about only needing 4 or 5 hours of sleep each night, treating his chronic sleep deprivation like some kind of badge of honor that proved his toughness. He ignored his doctor's repeated warnings about his poor sleep quality, refused to address his obvious sleep apnea symptoms, and dismissed concerns about his loud snoring and frequent nighttime awakenings. Research from Johns Hopkins reveals that seniors who consistently sleep less than 6 hours per night face a 48% higher mortality risk and experience accelerated brain aging, equivalent to 15 additional years of cognitive decline. Poor sleep quality doesn't just make you tired and irritable the next day. It systematically destroys your immune system's ability to fight infections and diseases, accelerates cognitive decline and memory loss, dramatically increases your risk of developing type 2 diabetes, makes existing heart disease progress twice as fast, and raises your blood pressure to dangerous levels. Your brain uses deep sleep to clear out toxic proteins that accumulate during waking hours, including the same proteins that cause Alzheimer's disease and dementia. When you consistently deny your body adequate sleep, those toxic proteins build up progressively in your brain tissue, causing permanent damage to your memory, reasoning abilities, and cognitive function. Your immune system repairs and strengthens itself during deep sleep stages, and without sufficient sleep, you become vulnerable to infections, cancer, and autoimmune diseases. I made sleep a non-negotiable priority starting in my early 70s after reading about the research and recognizing my own declining sleep quality. Every single night, I turn off all screens and electronic devices at exactly 8 o'clock. Keep my bedroom completely dark using blackout curtains, maintain the temperature at a cool 67 degrees, and get into bed at 9:30 without exception. I avoid caffeine entirely after noon, eat my final meal at least 3 hours before bedtime, and follow the same calming routine every evening to signal my body that sleep is approaching. At 91 years old, I still sleep 7 to 8 hours every single night, wake up feeling genuinely refreshed, and my doctor consistently comments that my cognitive function exceeds most people 20 years younger. Establish a fixed bedtime tonight and commit to it without exception for the next 30 days until it becomes automatic. Turn off all televisions, computers, tablets, and smartphones at least 90 minutes before your designated bedtime because the blue light from screens suppresses your body's natural melatonin production. Make your bedroom as dark as possible using heavy curtains or blackout shades. Keep the temperature cool between 65 and 68 degrees and remove any sources of noise or disruption. If you snore loudly or wake up gasping for air, talk to your doctor immediately about sleep apnea because untreated sleep apnea kills people through heart attacks and strokes. Tonight is the night to start prioritizing sleep because every poor night is actively damaging your brain and weakening your heart right now. Mistake 4. They refused to adapt their diets as they aged. The fourth deadly mistake that killed my friends was stubbornly continuing to eat exactly the same way at 70 as they did at 40, completely ignoring how dramatically their nutritional needs had changed. Vincent kept eating heavy dinners with red meat every single night, consuming large portions like he was still a young man doing physical labor, and completely dismissed his doctor's increasingly urgent advice about his cholesterol, blood pressure, and diabetes risk. He genuinely believed that changing his lifelong eating habits would somehow diminish his quality of life or take away his enjoyment of food. Stanford University research demonstrates that seniors who fail to increase their protein intake and adjust their portion sizes lose up to 8% of their muscle mass per decade, leading directly to devastating falls, hip fractures, and the loss of independence. Your body's nutritional requirements change dramatically after age 60, whether you acknowledge it or not. And eating like a younger person actively destroys your health in multiple dangerous ways. As you age, your body becomes significantly less efficient at processing and absorbing protein, meaning you actually need more protein than younger people to maintain your muscle mass, bone density, and immune function. Your metabolism slows down considerably. So eating the same portion sizes you consumed decades earlier leads directly to dangerous weight gain, elevated blood sugar, high cholesterol, and cardiovascular disease. Your digestive system produces less stomach acid and fewer digestive enzymes, making it harder to break down heavy meals, process large amounts of red meat, and absorb essential vitamins and minerals from your food. I completely transformed my eating habits after turning 70, and this single change has kept me strong, independent, and healthy for 2 decades. I increased my protein intake significantly by adding eggs to my breakfast every morning, eating Greek yogurt or cottage cheese at lunch, and having fish or chicken at dinner at least 5 times per week. I reduced all my portion sizes by approximately 1/3 compared to what I ate in my 50s and 60s, using smaller plates to make the reduced portions look more satisfying. I largely eliminated red meat, except for occasional special occasions, dramatically increased my vegetable intake to fill half my plate at every meal, and switched to whole grain bread and brown rice instead of refined white carbohydrates. My friend Louise changed her diet at 83 after a health scare, and within 6 months, her doctor reduced 2 of her regular monitoring appointments because her blood work improved so dramatically. Add 1 protein-rich food to every single meal, starting with breakfast tomorrow morning, whether it's eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, fish, chicken, or beans. Reduce your portion sizes by using smaller plates, serving yourself 1/3 less than you currently eat, and stopping when you feel satisfied rather than completely full. Replace red meat with fish at least 3 times per week, focusing on salmon, tuna, or any affordable fish available at your local grocery store. Fill half your plate with vegetables at lunch and dinner, choosing any vegetables you actually enjoy eating rather than forcing yourself to eat things you hate. Change your next meal today, because every inadequate meal is actively weakening your muscles, bones, and immune system right now. Mistake 5, they stopped challenging their minds. The most devastating mistake I watched all 4 of my friends make was accepting the false belief that mental decline was inevitable, unavoidable, and something they just had to accept passively. After retirement, James, Carl, Donald, and Vincent all stopped reading books, gave up learning anything new, abandoned their hobbies that required mental effort, and spent their remaining years focused entirely on passive entertainment like television. They genuinely believed their learning years were behind them, and that trying to master new skills or acquire new knowledge at their age was pointless or even impossible. The CDC and Alzheimer's Association have confirmed through extensive research that seniors who don't regularly engage in cognitively challenging activities face 3 times higher risk of developing dementia and Alzheimer's disease compared to those who keep their minds active. Without regular mental stimulation and cognitive challenge, your brain literally shrinks in size as neural connections die permanently and are never replaced. Your hippocampus, the brain region responsible for forming new memories and learning new information, atrophies progressively when not used regularly, making it increasingly difficult to remember names, appointments, and important information. The prefrontal cortex, which controls planning, decision-making, and complex thinking, weakens substantially without consistent challenge, affecting your ability to manage finances, make sound judgments, and maintain independence. Mental decline isn't an inevitable part of aging that you must accept helplessly. It's largely the direct result of mental inactivity and the failure to challenge your brain with new learning experiences. At 91 years old, I'm currently learning basic Spanish through free online videos and practicing conversation twice weekly with my neighbor's grandson Miguel, who helps me with pronunciation. Last year, I learned how to use a tablet computer, started reading books about topics I knew nothing about previously, and taught myself to play chess by watching instructional videos and playing against a simple computer program. I attend a weekly current events discussion group at the library where we debate news stories and challenge each other's viewpoints, forcing me to think critically and articulate complex arguments. My sister-in-law, Beatrice, started learning piano at age 84 with no prior musical experience, and her doctor told her that her cognitive test scores actually improved measurably over the 2 years she's been practicing. Choose one new thing to learn this month, whether it's a language, a musical instrument, a card game, a craft, a technology skill, or simply reading books about subjects you know nothing about currently. Take a class at your local community college, senior center, or library, where many programs are free or very inexpensive for seniors. Download a brain training app on your phone or tablet and spend just 10 minutes daily on puzzles, memory games, or problem-solving challenges. Learn something practical that improves your daily life, like how to video call your grandchildren, how to manage your finances on a computer, or how to cook a new type of cuisine. Pick something to start learning this week, because every single day without mental challenge is another day of permanent brain deterioration. I'm 91 years old, and I'm not genetically superior or luckier than the 5 friends I lost decades before their time. I simply made different daily choices consistently over many years. They stopped moving their bodies and embraced sedentary retirement. I kept walking every morning without exception. They isolated themselves after losses and withdrew from social connections. I forced myself to stay engaged with community and relationships. They ignored their sleep problems and bragged about needing less rest. I made quality sleep a non-negotiable priority. They refused to change their eating habits as their bodies aged. I adapted my diet to match my changing nutritional needs. They stopped challenging their minds and accepted mental decline as inevitable. I never stopped learning new things and pushing my cognitive abilities. These aren't expensive medical treatments, complicated interventions, or genetic advantages. They're simple daily decisions that anyone can start making immediately, regardless of their current age or health status. If this video revealed even one deadly mistake you're currently making in your own life, leave a comment right now telling me which mistake you're committing to change starting tomorrow morning. Hit that like button to help other seniors discover these potentially life-saving insights that could add decades to their lives. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss crucial health information designed specifically for our generation's unique needs. Share this video immediately with your friends and family members over 60, because you might literally save someone's life by helping them avoid these 5 deadly mistakes that killed my friends. What's the first change you're making tomorrow?